The 2018 World Economic League table, released today, projects that Australia will jump 2 spots to become the 11th largest economy on the globe by 2025. The report, published by the London-based Centre for Economics and Business Research, CEBA, attributes much of the growth to high immigration levels boosting the population. However, the report warns that Australia needs to reduce its reliance on natural resources and increase its spending on infrastructure in order to keep the economy healthy. One of this year's themes is that countries depending on brainpower will generally overtake countries depending on natural resources, the report states. Australia is one of the most popular countries in the world for inward migration as well as having natural resources. The growing population means that the economy is forecast to rise from 13th largest in 2017 to 11th largest economy in 2026. Investment in urban infrastructure will need to accelerate as population increases. Australia welcomed 245,400 immigrants in the year ending June 30, 2017, a 27% increase from the year before. While the report suggests the immigration rates are beneficial to the economy, entrepreneur Dick Smith has criticised the program, saying there aren't enough jobs in Australia to justify the influx of people. It will destroy Australia as we know it today, Mr. Smith told News.com.au earlier this month. We are going to end up like the US where you have something like 50 million people on the dole who will never have a job. It's just complete madness. The CEBA report also suggests that resource-reliant economies, such as Australia, will take a hit over the next decade as energy becomes cheaper. Australia will need to diversify as energy costs fall in the early 2020s due to the growth in natural gas production and renewables. The researchers also say that climate change will affect economies sooner rather than later, factoring in a predicted 12 cm sea level rise between now and 2032. The report suggests that countries with major coastal populations, such as Australia, will need to budget for increased infrastructure spending to defend populations against climate change-related flooding. Australia will need to reduce its reliance on the resources economy, such as iron ore mining, to maintain its growth in the coming decades. Source: supplied. China to overtake the US. One of the report's key findings is that China will overtake the US as the world's largest economy by 2030. This remains a remarkable achievement from an economy that was only 12% the size of the US economy as recently as 2000, the report states. China's growth will be consolidated by investment in major infrastructure projects, such as the Chinese Belt and Road Initiative, which will encourage trade by connecting the East and West. China's rise is good news for Australia because it is our largest trading partner. This reflects a larger trend where Asian economies are growing faster than those in the West. By 2032, 3 out of the world's 4 largest economies will be Asian: China, India and Japan, while South Korea and Indonesia will enter the top 10 for the first time. India will overtake Britain and France to become the world's 5th largest economy next year and will become the world's 3rd largest by 2032.